Okay, let's dive into one of the most magnificent and honestly mind-bending texts in Buddhist literature, the Avatamsaka Sutra. It's also known as the Flower Garland Sutra, and it's not really a story you read from front to back. It's more like this vast cosmic symphony, this vision of a completely interconnected universe. But if you ever try to read it, its structure can feel incredibly repetitive. So today, we're going to unlock the hidden genius behind all that repetition.
At the very heart of this text is a really fascinating puzzle. You've got this huge cast of characters. We're talking gods of fire, gods of water, gods of mountains, even gods of rivers and forests, and they're all praising the exact same ultimate reality. So, how can something as destructive as fire or as gentle as water both serve as perfect descriptions for the same profound truth? That's the question we're going to explore.
So here's our game plan for piecing this all together. We'll start by getting a feel for the sutra's grand scale. Then, and this is key, we're going to define a crucial concept called a liberation gate. After that, we'll look at some really beautiful examples from the gods of fire, water, mountains, and earth, before zooming out to see the infinite perspective this whole structure reveals. And finally, we'll see how this ancient idea applies to everything around us.
All right, so let's set the stage. Reading the Avatamsaka Sutra for the first time, it's kind of like walking into an impossibly large concert hall where countless choirs are all singing at once.
The text just keeps unfolding with group after group of beings appearing, and we're talking gods of everything. Oceans, rivers, crops, cities, forests, and they all follow a similar pattern. They introduce themselves and then offer up a hymn of praise. Now on the surface, it seems like a simple, repeated formula, but the real magic is hidden in the details.
To really get what's happening here, we need a key, and that key is a concept right at the heart of the sutra's structure. It's called a liberation gate. Now, think of it like a unique doorway or a special pair of glasses. Each being in this cosmic symphony has found its own specific way to understand the nature of reality. And their understanding isn't abstract, it's deeply connected to what they are. A fire god understands through the nature of fire, a river god through the nature of water. Makes sense, right?
So what looks like endless repetition is actually a very deliberate three-step pattern. First, a new group of deities arrives on the scene. Second, each one announces their personal liberation gate, their own unique path to insight. And third, one of them steps forward to recite a verse that basically summarizes the collective wisdom of their group. Once you see this pattern, the whole text just opens up.
Okay, let's make this feel more real with some examples. We'll start with two of the most fundamental and, opposing forces, fire and water. First up, we meet a fire god with this absolutely incredible name, the Fire God of Universal Light's Flame Treasury. The names themselves are like little poems, giving you a hint about their nature. And what is his liberation gate? It's the method of banishing all worldly darkness. I mean, this is so perfect, isn't it? As a fire god, his very essence is light and heat that dispels shadow. He understands enlightenment as the act of illumination, of burning away ignorance and confusion. And his verse of praise then reflects this exact insight. He sings that the Buddha appears in the world to make all dark obstructions be extinguished. He sees the Buddha's compassion as this universal flame that just burns through the darkness of suffering. It's a powerful and very direct perspective.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Let's compare him to a water god. The water god's liberation gate is through kindness that equally benefits all beings with peace. Think about it. Water flows everywhere, nourishing everything without discrimination. So while the fire god sees enlightenment as an active force that destroys darkness, the water god sees it as a gentle, pervasive force that nurtures all life equally. Two completely different elements, fire and water, offering two complementary yet equally valid paths to the exact same ultimate truth.
And this pattern continues with every corner of existence. So let's look at the stable, foundational elements of the landscape, mountain and earth.
Here we have the mountain god of Jewel Peak Blossoming Flower. Again, what a beautiful, evocative name.
His liberation gate is entering the light of great silent concentration. This is the wisdom of the mountain, unshakable, still, and profoundly silent. His path to truth is through immense stability and meditative calm, just like a mountain that withstands the ages.
And his verse speaks to the generosity of this perspective. He praises how the Dharma gates open wide, causing all beings to awaken. His stillness isn't a retreat from the world, It's a stable foundation from which countless paths, countless gates can open for others.
Following the mountain, we meet an earth god named Universal Virtue's Pure Flower.
And her liberation gate? With compassion, to mindfully behold all beings in every moment. The earth supports everything and everyone on it, without judgment. Her path is one of all-encompassing awareness and compassion, holding all beings in her care, just as the physical earth holds all of us.
Okay, so we've seen 4 different gods with 4 unique perspectives. Each one sees the ultimate truth through the lens of their own nature. So let's zoom out and ask the big question.
Why does the sutra present not just 4, but hundreds of these examples, group after group, gate after gate? If they're all pointing to the same thing, isn't it, well, redundant? The answer is no. The repetition is the message.
You see, when you look at all the verses of praise together, a few core themes emerge again and again. They all praise boundless compassion, tireless effort over eons, infinite wisdom that dispels ignorance, and the skillful means to teach in endless ways. Each god is simply describing these universal qualities using the language they know best: fire, water, earth, or sky.
And this leads us to the final, brilliant takeaway of the Avatamsaka Sutra's unique structure.
So the crucial point is this: the text isn't just telling us that there are many paths to enlightenment, it's showing us. It's performing this truth by letting every element of the cosmos speak for itself. The form of the sutra is its function. It demonstrates that there is no place, no being, no element that is separate from this ultimate reality. Every single thing is a potential liberation gate.
And this brings the entire lesson right back to us. If a mountain can be a gate of silent concentration and fire a gate of dispelling darkness, then what about the things in our own world? What could the focus of your job, the flow of traffic, the growth of a plant in your home, or even the code on your screen teach you? The sutra leaves us with this beautiful, provocative question: what in your world could be a gateway to deeper understanding?